The words exploded from my mouth with such urgency that my husband, Harold, nearly veered off the highway. We were deep in upstate New York, perhaps an hour from the Canadian border, cruising along Interstate 87 under a crisp April sky. The trees blurred past us, a mix of evergreens and budding maples, but I barely noticed. Every fiber of my being screamed that something was catastrophically wrong. My hands trembled uncontrollably as I fixated on the innocuous black overnight bag nestled in the back seat. "Ruth, what's going on?" Harold asked, his voice steady but laced with concern. He eased the SUV onto the shoulder, gravel crunching under the tires as semis thundered by, shaking our vehicle. I couldn't tear my eyes from that bag. Just moments earlier, my son Brandon had called. His tone was unervingly saccharine, inquiring specifically about that bag. And then those words, "I love you." In 42 years, Brandon had uttered them sparingly, maybe at holidays or milestones, but never in a mundane phone chat. It felt
You
scripted,
can't buy happiness,
forced.
but you can buy a
Something's not
motorcycle.
right, I
And that's
whispered,
basically
my
the same
heart hammering
thing.
against my ribs. "We have to turn around. Right now." Harold, my rock for 50 years, didn't probe or doubt. He trusted my instincts implicitly. He waited for a gap in traffic, executed a careful U-turn, and we headed south, away from the border. That decision likely spared us from ruin. What lurked in that bag shattered my illusions about my son and the family I'd propped up for years. Their scheme to exploit me, to sacrifice my freedom for their financial woes, it was devastating, inconceivable. Even months later, I struggled to accept that my own flesh and blood would endanger me so callously. But I'm jumping ahead. To grasp why I demanded that U-turn on a remote highway, I must rewind 5 years. 5 years of unwavering generosity, self-sacrifice, and love that Brandon's family exploited without remorse. I'd been their lifeline since Brandon's layoff, month after month, crisis after crisis. In return, they plotted something so heinous, so illegal, it could have obliterated my life. Let me unfold it from the start, so you see why "turn the car around" were the most crucial words I've ever spoken. Before delving deeper, if you're reading this, share in the comments where you're from and consider subscribing for more real-life tales. I'm Ruth Henderson, 68, residing with Harold in our snug 3-bedroom home in Albany, New York. We nurtured 3 kids here. After decades as a school secretary, I retired with a modest pension and savings we'd scrimped together. Life was serene until 5 years ago, when Brandon's world crumbled. At 42, Brandon lost his warehouse supervisor job of 15 years to downsizing. Suddenly unemployed, he had wife Amber and their 3-year-old son, little Tommy, to support. The job hunt was merciless, temp gigs paying peanuts. As his mother, how could I watch them flounder? It began modestly, $200 for groceries, gas money for interviews. Then rent spiked, threatening eviction. Let my grandson sleep on the streets? No way. Soon, I covered rent, car payments, insurance, utilities, even groceries and daycare so Amber could maintain her part-time nail salon job. "Mom, this is temporary," Brandon vowed with each check. "I'll repay every cent once I'm steady." Amber nodded, but her gratitude waned. I'd catch eye rolls or snide remarks about easy lives. I dismissed it. Family supports family. Plus, babysitting Tommy weekends was joy. Parks, stories, spoiling him rotten. Those moments justified every dime. Harold fretted, "Ruth, our retirement." But Tommy's needs trumped ours. We managed on pension and Social Security. Years blurred, job found, job lost, underpaid gigs. I'd subsidized them relentlessly for nearly 5 years, not sporadically, but systematically. They never worried. Grandma Ruth bridged every gap. I believed I was a devoted mom and grandma, aiding through tough times. Unbeknownst, my aid morphed from gift to entitlement. They budgeted around it, viewing my funds as theirs. When I finally uttered no to one ask, I uncovered their true
You can't buy
valuation.
happiness, but you
Dear
can buy a
Rose,
motorcycle.
last January,
And that's basically
a
the
call
same
altered
thing.
everything. Tommy thrived in public school, but Amber dramatized. He's bullied relentlessly, mocked for clothes, excluded. Teachers ignore it, classes overflow. He cries daily. My heart ached. There's a elite private academy. Small classes, zero-tolerance bullying, personalized care. Perfect fix. Sounds ideal, I said, envisioning Tommy's bloom. How can I help? Tuition steep, $15,000 this term, $18,000 yearly after, Amber murmured. The sum floored me, dwarfing prior requests. Yet Tommy's imagined tears tugged. Let me ponder. It's substantial. Silence. Brandon. Mom, this is Tommy's future. Worth any cost. 3 days of agony. Budget reviews, lifestyle tweaks. We could swing it, but at what sacrifice? Tommy seemed content during visits. Chattering friends, school excitement, no bullying hints. When queried, "School's fine," he'd shrug. I called back, "I adore Tommy, but let's try alternatives. Teacher meetings, school programs, district switch, before private." Icy pause. Amber. So, no? Let's explore first. Unbelievable, she muttered. Some grandma. Call ended frostily. Within days, ostracism, cancelled babysits, busy, skipped dinners, rushed Tommy chats, homework, playing. Grocery encounter. Tommy hugged joyfully. Amber snapped him back, icily ignoring me. His puzzled face haunts me. Message. My worth was fiscal. One boundary after 5 years, and punishment ensued. I questioned. Pay tuition, regain family? Those 2 months weren't mere spite. They prepped something sinister. Abrupt thaw in April. Brandon's call, buoyant. Hey, Mom. How's you and Dad? Cautious. Fine. You? Great. We've been stressed. Need family time. Amber's cousin's Quebec cabin, lakefront. Join us, you, Dad, us, Tommy. Reconnect. Heart soared. I'd missed them, especially Tommy. Wonderful. When? This weekend. Short notice, but cancellation. Weather's prime. Tommy's thrilled. We planned our SUV for all. Mom. Carry our overnight bag? Cars crammed. Of course. Amber dropped it. Black. Unremarkable. Chatty, genuine. Tommy's buzzing. This'll heal us. Slept hopeful. Morning. 2 cars for gear. Drive idyllic. Tommy waving. Red light antics. Felt familial. 3 hours in, Brandon called, Mom, bags with you? Yes. Haven't touched inside? No. Why? Border security. Careful these days. Pause. I love you, Mom. Really. Unprecedented desperation chilled me. Instincts blared. Turn the car around now. We exited. I unzipped bag. Beneath Tommy's PJs.
You can't
toys,
buy happiness,
plastic wrapped
but you
packages,
can buy a motorcycle.
drugs,
And that's basically the same thing.
They'd schemed me as mule, banking on love, reconciliation, eagerness, trust. Border bust? I'd face trafficking charges at 68, prison years. Brandon's call, guilt-fueled farewell. Reunion? Post-no ploy. Distance for desperate acceptance. No queries. Shifted forever. Enabler Ruth died. Harold? What? Showed him. Rage hardened. Home. Now. Brandon agitated behind. Phone rang. Ignored. Drive silent. Mind whirling. Months puzzle solved. Manipulation masterpiece. Their driveway. Mom, why turn around? Set bag down. I know contents. Pallor. Panic. Mom, explain. No. You risked me for crimes. Prison for your debts. Amber, desperate, Threats. One trip. Sacrifice me for your messes. Tommy confused, heart shattered. No more aid, rent, cars, nothing. Mom, we'll collapse. Like you planned for me. Drove off, them frozen with bag. Home, listed subsidies, staggering. Cancelled all, accounts, cards, payments. Called lawyer, documented for protection. Felt empowered, not selfish. Enabling hindered growth, now they'd learn. 4 weeks, calls, angry, desperate. Ignored. Sister-in-law tipped, planning Canada themselves, babysit Tommy. Blood froze. Still risking? Called lawyer, consider authorities, but couldn't betray blood. Saturday call, Border Patrol. Brandon, Amber arrested smuggling. Emergency contact. Knew inevitable. Tommy with kin, I filed custody. He arrived scared, suitcase clutched. When parents back? Bad choices, sweetie. Safe here. Months. 18-month sentences. Foreclosure, repossessions. No glee, sadness, relief for Tommy. Custody smooth. They signed temporary to avoid foster. Tommy in my old school, thriving sans chaos. Evenings, homework, chess, stories. Security bloomed. No fights, uncertainty. Peace from responsibility. Letters, Brandon apologetic, Amber griping. No reply. Prepping post-release battle. Documented stability. Days, projects, fishing, reading. Tommy flourishes. Lesson, boundaries as love, halt enabling. At 73, raising Tommy right. Honest, respectful, accountable. My story. Instincts, boundaries saved me, gifted Tommy stability. What do you think? Share family boundary tales. Subscribe.